Some marriages don't fall apart slowly. Some collapse in one day, with one decision, one betrayal, one moment you never recover from. When trust breaks fast, you don't get time to prepare. You don't get warnings. You only get the truth shoved into your chest so hard, your breath disappears. And the hardest part isn't cheating. It's the realization that the person you built a life with didn't hesitate. Not even once. She didn't think about the vows. She didn't think about you. She chose a rush over everything you built. And now she regrets it so deeply it haunts every room she walks into. But before I tell you what happened that day, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Some marriages don't fall apart slowly. I learned that the moment my world cracked open in a single afternoon. One day, one choice, one truth sharp enough to slice through everything we promised each other. I stood in our living room staring at the phone in my hand, replaying her message again and again. Not because I didn't understand it, because I understood every word too well. My wife had sent it by mistake, a message meant for someone else, a message she could never take back. Same place as yesterday. I miss you already. My legs felt weak, my hands numbed. I read it until the words blurred. She never spoke to me like that anymore. That spark, that warmth, that hunger in her tone. It hadn't been directed at me for months, and now I knew where it went. I didn't call her, I didn't text. I placed the phone on the table and waited for the door to open. The clock ticked slow. My heartbeat didn't. When she finally walked in, humming softly, grocery bag in hand, she froze when she saw my face. "What's wrong?" she asked. I didn't move. "Your phone? Message. Read it?" She blinked. Confusion flickered before fear took over. Her hand trembled slightly as she reached for her pocket. Then she stopped. She didn't need to check. She knew. "Please," she whispered. "Let me explain." "Explain what?" I asked. She swallowed hard. "I made a mistake." "One day," I said. "That's all it took?" Her eyes filled fast. She set the grocery bag down and stepped closer, but I leaned back, refusing her reach. She pressed her palms together like she was begging for air. "I didn't plan it," she said. "I didn't go looking for anyone. I was tired. I was lonely. Someone paid attention. I slipped." I held up a hand. "Stop." Tears slid down her cheeks. "I regret it. Deeply." I felt sick afterward. I tried to block him. I tried to push it out of my mind. But today, I was weak again. "Weak," I repeated. "You're calling it weakness?" She nodded fast. "I wasn't myself." "You were yourself," I said quietly. "Just not the woman I married." Her face crumpled. She covered her mouth with both hands, fighting sobs that shook her shoulders. I watched her break in front of me, but it didn't soften the blow. Pain doesn't disappear because the truth hurts the person who caused it. "I don't want him," she cried. "I want you. You wanted him enough to betray me." "It wasn't love," she said. "It wasn't even connection. It was emptiness. I felt numb. I felt unseen. He noticed me when you didn't." I gripped the chair beside me to steady myself. "So this is my fault now?" "No," she said quickly. "No. I'm trying to explain how I lost control." "You didn't lose control," I said. "You handed it over." She shook her head violently. I thought I could hide it. I thought I could bury it before it got worse. I ended it. I swear. I knew it was wrong. I knew it would destroy us. "It did," I said. "Today." She stepped closer again, hands trembling. "Please listen. It was one day, one moment, one lapse in judgment. I didn't spend nights thinking about him. I didn't plan a future with him. I didn't want a relationship. I wanted to feel alive for a second. And now?" I asked. "Now I want you to look at me," she whispered. and tell me I haven't lost everything." I looked at her. Really looked. Her red eyes, her shaking hands, her crushed voice. She wasn't faking regret. She wasn't building excuses. She was falling apart from the inside. "You broke my trust," I said, "in a single day." "I know. You broke us." "I know," she repeated, voice cracking. "And you expect me to forgive you?" "No," she whispered. "I expect you to leave if you need to. I expect you to hate me. I expect every consequence. But I'm begging you to hear me first." I didn't answer. She wiped her face with the back of her hand. I went to a hotel. He followed me. I stopped it before anything happened. Before I crossed the line completely, I pulled away. I walked out. I drove home sick with guilt. I wanted to tell you, but I was terrified. I wanted to fix things between us before dropping a bomb. "You dropped it anyway," I said. She nodded. "I know. And I'm glad I did. Because living with a secret like this would have eaten me alive." Silence filled the room. Heavy, thick, unforgiving. She knelt on the floor in front of me, hands shaking, tears dripping onto her thighs. Please don't walk out. Not yet. Not before we talk. Not before I tell you everything." "Everything?" I asked. "Yes," she whispered. "Every thought, every detail, every reason, every regret." I closed my eyes for a moment. My chest hurt. My throat stung. Every part of me wanted to run. But another part, the part that lived through years of marriage, memories, love, struggles, held me in place. "Start talking," I said. She breathed in like she'd been drowning. "He wasn't the problem," she whispered. "I was." And with that, she began unraveling the truth she hid behind smiles and routines. A truth that would change everything about the life we built. Some marriages don't fall apart slowly. She stayed on the floor, knees pressed into the carpet, shoulders shaking, as she gathered the nerve to keep speaking. I sat frozen in the chair, torn between grief and fury, between staying and running, between wanting to understand and wanting to shut every word out. The room felt tight, the air felt sharp. But I waited. She wiped her face with trembling fingers. I lost myself long before he showed up. I just didn't see it until I stepped into something dangerous. I kept my voice steady. "Tell me how you got there." She nodded, pulling in a shaky breath. I felt distance between us. Not hatred, not boredom. Distance. Days went quiet. Nights felt routine. I didn't blame you. I blamed myself. I didn't know how to talk about the emptiness inside me without sounding ungrateful. "You could have said something," I said. "I know," she whispered. "But every time I tried, I froze. I told myself you were tired. I told myself you had enough on your shoulders. I kept convincing myself the dip in our connection was normal." I leaned back, trying to find some place in my mind where the truth didn't hurt as much. She continued. "And then he showed up in the wrong moment. I was at the hotel for a work event. I felt heavy inside. I felt unseen. And he walked toward me like he understood that without one word." My jaw tightened. "Who is he?" "No one important," she said. "Someone from the office. Someone who watched me quietly for months. Someone who knew I was slipping before I did." I closed my eyes. Her voice pressed through the silence. "He complimented me, not in a bold way, in a gentle way. He said I looked tired. He asked if I was all right, and I answered. I opened that small door. Once I answered, he kept stepping closer." "How close?" I asked. She hesitated. "Close enough that I should have walked away." "Did he touch you?" She shook her head. "No, not then. He brushed my arm lightly when he handed me my drink, that's all." But the look in his eyes told me he wanted more. And something in me liked the attention. Not him, the attention. I swallowed hard, fighting the sting behind my ribs. She continued, voice smaller. We talked for 15 minutes. He asked about work, about stress, about my life. He listened with full focus. I haven't felt that level of attention in a long time. Not from anyone. I stared at her. And that was enough to send you to a hotel with him? Her face collapsed. No, I didn't go there with him in mind. I went for space, for quiet. Then he followed. He texted asking if he could stop by. I said no. He came anyway. I should have kicked him out the second he knocked. But you didn't? She shook her head. I let him inside because I didn't trust myself to explain through a door. I was shaking with confusion. I felt drawn to something that scared me. I thought I could control the moment. You couldn't, I said. No, she whispered. I couldn't. Her voice trembled. He stood too close. He spoke in a soft tone. He said I deserved passion. He said I deserved happiness. He said I deserved more than feeling forgotten. Forgotten? I repeated. She looked down. I felt invisible. Not because of you, because of me. I shut down months ago. I stopped reaching for you. I stopped telling you what I needed. And when you didn't notice, I assumed it meant I didn't matter. You should have told me, I said. I know, she whispered, but I told him first. And that opened a wound I didn't know how to close. I rubbed my hand across my face. This wasn't excuses. This wasn't manipulation. This was a confession soaked in regret, but it didn't reduce the pain. What happened next? I asked. She closed her eyes. He leaned toward me. I felt his breath. I felt the moment shift. I felt my heart pounding in a way I didn't recognize. And then I moved. You moved toward him? No, she said, shaking her head hard. I stepped back. I grabbed my bag. I walked out of the room without a word. I left him standing there. Her voice cracked. I sat in my car for 20 minutes crying, shaking, hating every part of what I allowed. I drove home feeling sick, not because I cheated, but because I wanted something outside our marriage for a split second. I stared at her. She wasn't lying. She was hurting in a way people hurt when they break their own soul first before anyone else touches it. Why didn't you tell me that night? I asked. I was terrified, she said. I thought one step back meant redemption. I thought if I cut ties with him and focused on you, I could bury the shame. Then today I slipped again. I responded to him. I shouldn't have. I know. But the moment I pressed send, I panicked. I deleted it. I tried to forget it happened. And then you sent the wrong message to me. She nodded slowly. Yes. And I'm grateful for that mistake, because hiding this would have destroyed me. I looked at her, kneeling, crying, regret soaking every inch of her voice. Do you still want him? I asked quietly. No, she said without hesitation. Not even a little. I want you. I want us. I want the life we built before I lost myself. Why should I believe you? She lifted her eyes. Because I came to you broken, not defensive, not blaming. I'm here because I want to fix this. I'll do anything. Therapy, distance, communication, change, all of it. I don't want to lose you. A long silence filled the room. She reached for my hand slowly. I betrayed your trust, she whispered, but I'm asking for one chance to earn it back. Her hand hovered inches from mine, shaking. I didn't take it. Not yet. But I didn't walk away either. We're not done talking, I said. You told me? Why? Now I want to hear what you're willing to do from this moment forward. She nodded, tears dripping onto her knees. Anything. Tell me. Some marriages don't fall apart slowly. She knelt there waiting for my answer, eyes red, posture small, breath uneven. I could feel how much she feared the next words leaving my mouth. She expected punishment. She expected distance. She expected the version of me who shuts down and walks away. But I wasn't walking, not yet. I leaned forward. You said you'll do anything. Then listen carefully. She nodded fast. First, I said, you cut him out of your life, completely. No messages, no small talk, no closure, no slow fade. He leaves your world today. She swallowed. I already deleted the thread. I didn't ask for deletion, I said. I asked for separation. Tears welled again. I'll block his number. I'll tell my office he can't be near my team. I'll avoid every place he goes. I'll shut every opening. I held her stare. Second, you stopped lying to yourself. You weren't drawn to him. You were drawn to how he made you feel. That craving didn't come from him. It came from emptiness inside you. She nodded, hard. I know, I see that now. I feel shame when I think about how fast it happened. Third, I said, if we rebuild this, you don't hide anything again. No secrets, no silent struggles, no waiting until you stumble. You talk to me, you come to me, you trust me. Her voice cracked. I want that. I want us to return to honesty. We don't return, I said quietly. We start over. She took a shaky breath. I'll take a new start, gladly. I watched her sit back on her heels, shoulders sagging with both fear and relief. She looked exhausted from carrying months of confusion and guilt. I felt a mix of anger, grief, and hints of sympathy. Nothing inside me was simple anymore. Stand up, I said. She rose slowly, wiping tears from her cheeks. What now? Now, I said, I need the truth, the full truth, about what you felt that day. Her voice softened into a whisper. I felt wanted. I felt visible. I felt something light up inside me, something that scared me, something I hated the moment it appeared. Did you imagine being with him? I asked. Her breath caught. Not in a full way, not a future, not a relationship. But I felt the pull. I felt curiosity. I felt a moment of escape. That's emotional cheating, I said. She didn't flinch. I know. And I regret every second of it. She stepped closer. But the regret isn't about being caught. It's about betraying myself before I betrayed you. I studied her face. She wasn't performing sorrow. She wasn't trying to win sympathy. She was standing in the ruins she created. And what do you want from me now? I asked. She whispered, a chance to rebuild what I almost threw away. A chance to prove your trust isn't wasted. A chance to show love through effort, not words. She reached out again, slower this time, like she feared the gesture itself might break me. I didn't step back, but I didn't reach forward either. You're not forgiving me today, she said softly. I don't expect that. I don't want easy forgiveness. I want to earn it. You're right, I said. Forgiveness takes time, and trust takes longer. Her lips trembled. Tell me how to start. I exhaled through a weight sitting heavy on my chest. You start by showing me who you want to be. Not the woman who slipped into emptiness, not the woman who ran to someone else, the woman who once stood beside me and fought for us. She nodded slowly. She's still here. She wasn't yesterday, I said. Her tears fell at that, each one carrying guilt she couldn't hide anymore. Yesterday broke me too, she whispered. I saw myself clearly for the first time. I saw someone I didn't recognize, someone who chased relief instead of love. I walked past her toward the window and stared outside. The sky carried a heavy evening light, quiet, still, waiting. She stayed behind me, hesitant to follow. After a long silence, she spoke again. I thought losing myself meant losing you. I didn't see that I was the one pulling away. I turned toward her. You hurt me. I know. You broke something between us. I know. You don't get guarantees from me, I said. You don't get promises. You get one opportunity to rebuild. One. She nodded. One is enough. Then understand this, I said. If he contacts you again, you tell me. If he tries to see you, you tell me. If you feel tempted, if you feel lonely, if you feel empty, you tell me. I will, she said. Every time. I stepped closer. Her breath held. And if you keep this promise, I said, then we start healing. She covered her mouth with both hands and cried again, but softer this time. Not desperate, not panicked, relieved. I reached out and rested my hand gently on her shoulder. She froze, then let out a breath she had been holding for hours. Maybe months. I'm sorry, she whispered again, voice shaking, but thank you for not walking out that door. I stayed because I believe people can break and still choose to rebuild, I said, but rebuilding is painful. Slow, uncomfortable. She nodded. I'm ready for painful. I'm ready for slow. I let my hand drop back to my side. Tonight we rest. Tomorrow we plan. We learn where we went silent. We learn where we lost connection. And we build honesty into every part of our lives. She moved closer. Can I hold you? I hesitated. Then I nodded once. She stepped into me carefully, like she feared the wrong move would shatter the progress she made. Her forehead rested lightly against my chest. Her arms circled me with a trembling gentleness that told me she didn't feel entitled to touch. She felt grateful for it. I didn't wrap my arms around her fully, not yet, but I placed a hand on her back. A beginning, a fragile one, but real. Thank you for staying through this story. A new tale of heartbreak, recovery, and hard-earned truth arrives soon.